Good morning. Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it may be for you. Um, it's day 3. You see the title. Today, I'm speaking not just as a survivor, but a mother, not just as a mandated reporter, but as a woman who is tired tired of watching Children's Protective Services fail to protect our children because let's be honest, we tell people if you see something, say something. But what happens when people do say something and CPS does nothing? What happens when there are multiple calls, multiple visits, and still a child ends up unalive, missing, or silenced? Let's say their names. Ziyah Harris, 13 years old, reported missing after school. Not after school, the next day. Kei'Mani Latigue, 13 years old, body found in abandoned home. Both of these cases, there were signs, there were concerns, and reportedly interventions were attempted, but interventions are not enough without accountability. Ask yourself, how many times do Black children get overlooked because their cries are viewed as drama or disruptions or dysfunction? How many parents, teachers, neighbors, and aunties, uncles have reported abuse only to be ignored or dismissed by the very agencies we trust? We need to stop acting like reports are magic. They're not. They are alerts, not actions. And when CPS doesn't act, a child's life is at stake. CPS is not exempt from accountability. And as citizens, as survivors, as protectors, we must begin asking the tough questions. Who is auditing their failure to act? Where is the trauma informed care? Why are kids returned to abusers even after clear signs of danger? This month, we're not just raising blue ribbons, we're raising righteous hell for children who can't speak for themselves. Shouts out to Nancy Horn. Where are you, children without a voice? Here's what you can do today. Call to action. Write to your state rep. Demand increased CPS oversight and transparency. Public servants must serve our children. Attend or host a town hall. Use your church, your school, your platform to open discussions around failed CPS interventions. Train to be a certified steward of children. Visit darkness to light.org and take the training. Start with educating yourself. Vigilance. Join the movement. We are telling the truth, teaching prevention, and protecting our babies, period. To every person who ever called CPS and was ignored, to every teacher who cried after reporting only to see nothing done, to every child who didn't get the rescue they deserved, we see you. We will not forget you. And we are demanding better. This is Child Abuse Prevention Month, not Child Abuse Ignorance Ignorance Month, not Close Your Eyes and Pass the Case Month. Prevention means acting before another child is lost. Child Protective Services, CPS, known, is tasked with safeguarding our vulnerable, our children, yet recent tragedies reveal alarming failures within the system, leading to devastating consequences. Zamar King, the 9-year-old from Detroit, Michigan, back in April 2024, confided to CPS workers that his mother had choked him and expressed intentions on unaliving him. And despite this explicit warning, Zamar remained in his mother's custody. And by February 2025, his body was discovered buried in their backyard. Chase Allen, 3-year-old, 3 years old, endured documented abuse, including broken home bones, burns, trauma leading to permanent blindness. Despite CPS interventions, he remained with his mother. In June 2022, his decomposed body was found in a freezer. Mandated reporters such as teachers, doctors, social workers are legally obligated to report suspected child abuse. However, reporting alone doesn't guarantee interventions. Studies indicate that approximately 40% of mandated professionals have failed to report child maltreatment at some point, and 6% consistently fail to do so. Even when reports are made, as we see, CPS response can be inadequate. For instance, the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services failed to produce legally required reports on over 1,200 child deaths and 3,000 serious injuries back in 2018, hindering transparency and accountability. Demand transparency, advocate for public access to CPS records and findings to ensure the agency's actions are visible and scrutinized. Engage with lawmakers to push for reform that enforce stricter oversight. Mandate timely responses to reports. We can establish independent bodies comprising of community members to review CPS cases and decisions. Support initiate lawsuits against CPS when negligence is evident. Setting legal precedents that emphasize accountability. Utilize the media platforms to highlight CPS failures, applying public pressure for systemic change. We have to recognize signs of abuse, y'all. Unexplained injuries, frequent burns or fractures, behavioral signs, sudden mood changes, withdrawals, fearfulness, aggression, poor hygiene, malnutrition, or consistent lack of supervision. While mandated reporting is crucial, it's evident that reporting alone isn't sufficient. So we must ensure that once reports are made, decisive and protective actions follow. Holding CPS accountable is not just about critiquing a system, but about safeguarding our children's future. So let's unite as a community to demand protection every child deserves. Need I say more?